What's up, crypto fam? It's Phantom taking another look at the market. Bitcoin's recovering as expected. It's still pushing its way to the upside, um, as we talked about towards the end of last week. Even though we had quite a few pulling for 28K within the start of this week, beginning of this week, and we've continued moving to the upside. We bounced off the trend line that's held since 2020. It did exactly what it's supposed to do. We got a pretty decent bounce up, but we're now coming up to resistance level, which was our previous support. So I'm sure this will be a resistance that may reject us a few times. There's probably going to be some resistance, a lot of sell pressure in this area since it was such a strong support for us for a period of time. That said, I remain bullish. I have since we did start ripping back down the past couple weeks. We talked about this week being the start of the momentum shifting to the upside, and I'm still on board with that. As long as we don't close below that weekly trend line that I've drawn, I think we're in the clear. Bullish momentum will take time, but the more that we stay at this level sideways, the stronger our move up is going to be, is my belief. So I'm here for it. I'm waiting for it. Our Cosmos long is still holding strong. We're still in the green. Actually, more in the green yesterday or today than we were yesterday. So that's been a decent buy overall. We're up about 5%, 6% since we've gotten in the trade. I'll be holding it, like I mentioned, for the remainder of the week and see how it performs, and we'll make a decision on to take profit from there. Obviously not financial advice, it's just what I'm doing with my research and analysis. Cosmos looked at a great buying opportunity for me. It's hit a decent support level, and it's kind of been in a channel from the up to $40 mark. So I'm gonna wait out the week and see how it continues to perform. But Bitcoin is moving to the upside as expected, even though this is a red candle. It's just one of the indicators that I have. The RSI continues to push up, and the other indicators, the moving averages, continue to move up. This will release and turn to blue, but it is a green candle to the upside. So Bitcoin's continuing to look bullish, and we're continuing to move to the upside. The fear and greed index, we're sitting at 27, so we're still in fear territory, which makes sense because there's still uncertainty and doubt in the market. The S&P has a few big players with earnings tomorrow. I know Tesla has an earnings report tomorrow, so I'll be watching the S&P closely to see how the markets react to those earning reports. There are a couple of cool news articles that I found that I thought I'd bring up on stream. The first Australian Bitcoin EFT is coming. So, according to the chief risk officer at ASX, listing and opening for public trading is ready as they are at the minimum number of clearing participants 7 days after the regulatory approval of ASX. Clear market participants will be notified. In this period, various market participants are going to prepare for live trading, including the intensive work of brokers, cleaners, market makers, and investors. Australia is getting ready to enter and list getting ready to enter the list of the first countries that have implemented a spot Bitcoin exchange traded product, as the EFT is expected to start trading on CBOE equities trading venue, as traders and analysts expect that $1 billion will flow into the country's first Bitcoin EFT. So that's a lot of money that's going to be flowing into these EFTs, and a lot of money that's going to have Bitcoin in mind. So this is extremely bullish. If the bullish price action that we've gotten so far hasn't been indicative enough, there's been so many buys right in this level of this weekly trend line, and I think it's just very, very, very big whales buying the dip. And this news article backs that thought up that I've had and I've mentioned on the stream over the past couple days. As Bitcoin dropped to a monthly low of 39,000 after a few days of consolidating above 40K mark, there was a growing bearish sentiment regarding the immediate price action. When the bears came out to push Bitcoin south, dipping into the 37 to 40K area, some considered it as an excellent opportunity to accumulate. A high volume of spot Bitcoin exchange outflow. Mingyu Wu, a technical analyst on CryptoQuant, claimed that Bitcoin sell-off went on. A noticeable volume was seen on spot exchanges recently. Whales may have bought a large sum of Bitcoin, Wu implied, because the size of the outflow can only be made possible via checking top BTC outflow for spot exchanges. Wu saw the price range of Bitcoin between 37 and 40K as a critical accumulation phase, which has been ongoing since March 2022, and urged investors to hold or buy the dips if they could. Previously, in the wake of these scenarios, the outflow volume spiked as a considerable quantity of Bitcoin was being removed from the exchanges. Upward price action soon reversed the market's short-term bearish sentiment. So, when we dipped down, there was a ton of orders ready at that level to just scoop up this Bitcoin and hodl. So the good news is there's a lot of big time investors that are buying Bitcoin at this price because they see it as worthwhile at this price. The downside is it doesn't necessarily maintain us at this level because these large investors are in this for the long haul. They always scoop up the great price. They may not scoop up the exact bottom, but they're in this to hold Bitcoin for years to come. So they're playing the long game. So I see this as overall very bullish for the market, and I'm happy to be amongst the buyers at these levels. We bought on Cosmos on stream just a few days ago over the weekend, and we took a little bit of a hit. We didn't get stopped out when the rip down happened. But that said, we're definitely in the green now and hope to continue to push to the upside over the course of the week. So Cardano creator Charles Hoskinson says Cardano is just starting after adding 100,000 new addresses last month. Why is Cardano growing so fast? One of the most influential developers in the industry hopes and waits for the growth of the ecosystem, especially after the release of smart contract technology, which has already attracted more than 300 million in user funds. Just in, Cardano added 100,000 wallets to its network in the past month. And Charles Hoskinson responded, "We're just getting started." Why does Charles Hoskinson expect growth in the future? While Hoskinson's prediction could be considered bold, he has a right to think so, as the rapidly emerging technology on Cardano is at the early stages of adoption and yet to see the blossoming in various DeFi solutions, including lending and borrowing platforms, stablecoins, NFTs, and NFT marketplaces. In an analogy with Ethereum, Cardano may, in fact, face a strong increase in capitalization as the demand for DeFi, NFTs, and decentralization recovers and returns to 2021 levels. So I'm still hugely bullish on Cardano as a whole. I think Hoskinson is a brilliant man. I think that they took the time to build the correct foundation, and they're getting the fruits of that labor now. And the fact that a lot of people are creating wallets, 100,000 wallets in a month is nothing to just pass by. That's a big deal. There's a lot of interest in this, and the project's still really early on. A lot of people faded it when it was in the. It went down as far as 2 cents at one point, right? And people have always been fading the project, or you either are 100% for it or 100% against it. There's haters, and there's people that push the product. And Cardano's kind of just been on the sidelines, just building the whole time. And they had so many white papers that got sent to review. They've had so many peer reviews that have happened. And because they have that foundation, their releases have been great. The product's moving forward. You know, it's doing all the right things. And I'm completely behind it. I stand behind the man. I stand behind the project. I own quite a bit of Cardano myself. I stake on the crypto Crow node. So yeah, I'm really excited for a Cardano project. Adding 100,000 wallets is just icing on the cake. I think there's a lot of great things coming for Cardano. Even if it is sitting below $1 right now, it's severely undervalued for what this is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. I said that 3 years ago when it was trading, around 6 cents, and we went up to over $3. So yeah, it will happen again. It's just time. So that said, just to wrap up, I think Bitcoin's still in a bullish price action. I'll watch closely what the S&P does tomorrow and make decisions on, a possible partial take profit on my Cosmos trade, depending on how the earnings reports come out from the S&P, because I think the two are still correlated. I may just do something where I take small profit and then buy back in if we do have, a rejection off of this level that was our previous support, which is now a resistance. If we reject hard off of it, I may consider taking some profits of my Cosmos trade off the table and then just buy back in lower and ride it out for the rest of the week. I'll keep you updated on tomorrow's stream. Until then, I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. I hope you have an amazing Wednesday, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then.